All right, folks, we're here for my daily chart session. It is Thursday, and we're gonna go in depth on Bitcoin. I'm still in these Bitcoin longs. It's looking pretty good. I considered, well, I haven't checked the advanced settings, so I need to think about that. I considered a TP here, but I thought the way it looked, aiming for 60K might make more sense. Depending on how it goes, I might mark it out of this, but we'll see. ETH has been weaker, and I've not wanted to long that for a reason. Um, wouldn't be surprised if this just continues down. Now, if we look at, let's just go through Bitcoin dominance, maybe topped Doge. ETH is really weak. There's pockets of strength in different ones. Total, others total 3. Others all look decent. XRP had a little wick today. So something I need to reconsider is how I get into these altcoin shorts. Because I've just had 3 of them escape me, although originally my limit order was going to be right here and I just put it higher. So that's what happened, but I didn't get filled on Aave. So far haven't been filled on GMT, but might stick with that. I'm gonna look. I might want to stay with that. Um, didn't get filled on Ape. So that's something I need to think about. I think the psychological benefits make it worth it. Also, I didn't take BSV. I think the funding was too negative for me to want to take it. And it looks like we already hit what could be a TP anyways. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but let's see, Quant is continuing higher. I looked at that one and it was definitely not a sell. Funding rate can tell you a lot. I'm gonna see what else might have hit a major high today. Okay, Super. I don't, yeah, Super is kind of interesting. Here we on Wednesday. When this gap's created, I'm noticing a lot of the time they're not coming back to it, actually. It's just going unfilled. So I might need to think about a better way of doing this. I think for GMT, there's a lower gap, super. That would be an interesting place to put a limit sell. On the other hand, if it comes back up there, it's like, why is it coming back up there? But that's something I'm gonna pay attention to. Haven't looked at funding yet, so we're gonna get to that, but I just want to get a taste of how the market is behaving. But we are seeing that breakouts just keep failing on alts for the most part. BCH. Uh, okay. Okay, nothing. I'm gonna go look at CoinMarketCap too, see if there's anything I'm missing in terms of big gainers on the day. Okay, as far as the charts go, I'm still favoring rotational pumps. So Pendle is possibly setting up. Oh, there's so many to go through. Hey, hey, Rose. So I need to look at Bitcoin in close, and I need to look at some of these alts in close. Okay, TWT is interesting. This one, so helium, I guess the short would kind of be working, but my thought was this was such an it was such an efficient move up that a move down is likely to be very efficient as well. So it's like I don't really want to trade an efficient move down. What I mean by efficient is all the gaps get smoothed over multiple times. There's just a lot of retracing and it's less likely to just straight down. There's more support, but it's something I'll consider, something I would consider too. Today got up at 5 a.m. and worked on the boat for 6 hours, so I'm tired and I'm not going to try to spend more than 1 to 2 hours on this. BNX approaching the highs, but not there yet. But I want to move that up to the top. Essentially, I don't like to long alts off the bottom, but I'm interested in shorting them off the highs. Okay. And then let's go ahead and look at the other stuff. Yo, gold, huge move up, all-time high on gold. Look at that. Yo, gold would have trading gold long this year. Gold is like the leader. Yeah, up days on every index. US 500 nearly all-time highs. Let's look. PPI. I still think we could get all-time highs in Bitcoin in not that long. Okay, in line with expectations. 0.2%. Okay, let's start with Bitcoin, and we're going to go to our advanced analysis, where we're going to look at everything that should matter here, which is aggregate funding rate, predicted funding rate, global funding rate, and then CVD. Aggregate CVD would be interesting. So actually it looks like distribution up here. So I think I might like to TP this and look for longs lower. We're saying the global funding rate is coming up. We're saying that the actual funding rate on Bitcoin is coming up. And we're also saying that we have hit a target here. So would be interested in exiting and looking for a pullback potentially. If I cannot limit enter, it means if I cannot market enter, it means I need to get out though. Yeah, I wish I had gotten put into some of those longs, but it's okay. Let's look at ETH. Funding. Okay, and CVD. Oh, we already have that. I want CVD and open interest. Well, we see funding getting hot on ETH. So I don't want to be a chaser up here on ETH. A CVD. Funding. Aggregate funding rate. Oh, we already have that. Open interest. Okay, so what we're saying, spot has just continued to sell off down here. And we're saying funding increasing with open interest increasing. And price hasn't even really moved up. So to me, I'm kind of interested in shorts on ETH. Given that, I would maybe be interested in a little short in here. On the other hand, that would be a break of this trend line, which I don't want to mess with. So we don't need to do that. I can trade something else. Short, not ETH, but definitely not long on ETH. Let's drop into a lower time frame. Like this range up here, to me looks kind of bearish, where, oh, it looks okay actually. We see spot is actually decreased buying pressure or increased selling pressure. The market, we had negative funding, it didn't really do a whole lot. Okay, let's, it could be okay to hold Bitcoin long, but it's not as, doesn't look as good as it did. And I don't want to short ETH just because I know people look at trend lines, and a break of this trend line could be bullish. So let's go ahead and take a look uh, over here. According to this, yeah, it's become just staying around the midline though. Yeah, I think just considering what it took to get down here and who's sidelined, it still makes sense to be to try to entertain longs on Bitcoin. If I want to be interested, there's nowhere to. On the other hand, I feel like we're quite likely to come into this 4-hour gap, which is $57,800 lower. We're not 100% to, but right, we have no gaps. So I kind of like just TP here and then look to re-enter lower. I'm actually going to do that. So let's do that. It's not the most bullish setup up here, so in that case, let's just take it. So $1,700 on that. Okay, so I'm gonna re-enter on Bitcoin lower. Another win. Um, so I want to enter in this 4-hour gap right here, and my stop would be down here. Something like this. And then my target, again, I want to target 60,000. I'm looking for price to come right in here. So let's do that. 57,150. So I could risk, I think I would, I'm just continuing to compound here. I could also look out for price to come all the way down in here. ETH looks bearish. Look, for the first time in the move up, it created bearish fair value gaps and it respected them. Bitcoin doesn't have the best setup. I'm going to come back to Bitcoin in a minute, but I also wouldn't mind the idea of allowing, but I think I would rather maybe take two trades. Maybe a trade like this and a trade like this. Something like that in both cases. Which, yeah, it's possible neither fill. Again, I want to leave ETH alone. Both cases, I'm aiming for 60,000. So yeah, Bitcoin funding's gone up a little bit. Spot's been selling a little bit. We swept this high right here. Price might immediately go higher. I won't be with it. But also we look on the 1 minute. Usually this is where some kind of reversal occurs. So I'm okay with that. I think I'll do, again, I'll do 2 longs and have a zone where I'm not trading. So I think for the first one, drop into a lower time frame. I think I would try to allow for a sweep of this. How wide is this gap going to be here? Wide enough for it to be worthwhile. This is about 56, and it would be down to 500. And then what I want to do is trade this lower one with bigger risk. This one I'm going to put right here. And I would allow for this. Maybe not this one. Okay. So these are going to be my 2 Bitcoin trades. Okay. The first one seems it's probably fine. Okay. So 57,150 to about 56,000. And then 55. I mean, I could trade 1 Bitcoin on both of these. Lets me trade a little bit bigger. I'm going to cancel my Aave and GMT shorts, and then I'm going to come back and take a look at the possibility of doing some alt shorts. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to set it at 57,150 and the amount of 1 Bitcoin with a stop loss at 56,000. The TP at 60,000. Okay, which would be a risk of a little more than 1,000. And then I would have my second one. I want to risk a little bit less, actually. I'll say like 0.8 Bitcoin. Because I want to be able to risk more on the lower one. Okay. That seems good. And then I'm going to put the lower order at 55,438 with a stop at risk 1. I'm going to trade 1. With a stop at 54,550 and a TP at 60,000. This one is going to have a risk of this one has a risk of okay. Good with that. I recognize it might Possible it runs without me. And that's why I don't want to watch. But I've made my idea. Like we have this double. It could even come up here and then come back down here. That'd be fine. ETH. Again, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Now let's look at the couple. Limit ideas. So GMT, I could leave that, but it's like, do I really want it to even go up there, or would that be a problem? Who is this? Hello?
Hello, Master Travis.
Yes, who is this?
Hey, Travis. This is Sean. You saw.
All right, we're back. Good thing I paused because I just shared my social security. Okay, so let's look at a couple alts here. I'm gonna look at the situation on GMT. There's a couple new ones, right? I also wanted to look at CoinMarketCap. So let's look. CVD. Oops, one open interest. Spot still selling. Open interest going down because shorts have been getting, longs have been getting stopped. But there's still pressure. So I think I'm okay with leaving my limit up there. And it seems possible it will fill, especially in this environment. Kind of a small down day. Like if you look in the last one over here, this day swept that high before going lower, so it's possible. Could also move my limit order down here, but it's in an uptrend right. Yeah, there's like a 4-hour gap here. That might make more sense. And then target down here. It's not the most risk reward trade, but seems favored. So now we have Pendle. Pendle. I want to be pretty careful with the shorts though. Funding is pretty hot. The spot was selling, I mean, since the high. I mean, I don't know that it says it's negative, right? Well, right, open interest is mooned and it hasn't been flushed out yet. It mooned in here. So Pendle I'm interested in. And there's a 4-hour gap to trade in. So I'll look in there. And I probably want to run my stop wider than the high. But yeah, I'm looking in here, if not here. Kind of like putting at the top of the 4-hour gap, allowing for another stab upward. Could increase my odds of getting filled by maybe putting it in the midpoint of the gap. Should be like this, something like that. On the other hand, yeah, I'm on the day. I mean, I think it makes sense to have my stop at the high and target, something like that. Then we can look at Aave if I still want to try Aave at all. There's a couple more too. Okay. Oops. Interest. So right here was a big long entering actually. Long's entering because you see funding goes positive, futures goes up, open interest went up, but we're still seeing futures getting longer and longer actually. So Aave still maybe looks okay. That said, I don't think it's set up right for me. Um, right, that gap got filled. I guess here is possible. It's another one that's not necessarily the highest risk reward, but what does the open interest look like? I mean, there's so much more. There's so much to flush out. Okay, and then I already decided I don't really want to do helium. It's just way too orderly in its decline and it's up. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but I'm okay with doing all of those. The last one I want to look at is super, but no, not super rare. I don't think I can look at super just because I don't think they have super. No, super farm, is that right? Super. Yeah, super, okay. No, they have it. It's not super rare, it's super. And this one, funding is a little bit low on this one, but it depends on how this is looking. Um, wait, I don't want aggregate open interest, right? Global. Oh, I'm on Bitcoin. I'm looking at the wrong one. Where's rare? What happened here? Rare. Wait, super rare. No, I don't want super rare. I want super farm. That's the one I want. Okay. This is the one. It doesn't. Okay. I mean, this one looks good too, where we have spot selling, futures buying. How is open interest going down? What does that mean though? If probably a lot of shorts shorts closing. We've already had a pretty good flush in open interest, but it went from 7 million to 27 million. It's down to 16, but it's still a lot, right? Okay, it's that one's still probably good also, honestly. And we have a 1 hour gap. I think this one I would want my stop higher than the high though. Um, like something like that. Something like this. So, I mean, that's enough alt shorts. I'm just gonna put small money on all of them. But I also want to look at, see what else is having an insane BNX. I'm not sure I have Sui and Phantom. Do I have it already? No. Okay, that's not tradable yet. Phantom. FTM. I think I have, yeah, that one's not there yet. Quant, FET, Ohm, not there yet. Tau, STX, Beam. I think I do have that one, right? No, no, Tau I do, yeah. Most of these are USDT, that's why. Beam, I don't have that one. No need today. I think I have Brett already, no. Okay. OP, Eng, Pyth, RDR. Okay, nothing's coming up yet. Um, let's go to page 2. I'm not going to go beyond page 2. Super, I don't have Mog. I also don't have Luna. Oh, like I'm all the way down. It took the low of the low is crazy. Oh, okay. We're gonna have a lot of opportunities here pretty soon. Zero prime. Doesn't really have as much price history as I'd like, but so I have 4 alt trades that I'm gonna put on for limits. Meanwhile, price is potentially gonna run without me, but it's okay. I'm gonna leave it here. It could go higher and then go lower. 2. We did create a gap and fill it immediately. But again, I'm just noticing like what happened here. They sold off up here. And funding is, yeah, maybe it's all good. Okay, so I'm not gonna risk huge on any of these. GMT, why am I there? Because there's a 4 hour gap. Okay. Okay. Let's start with GMT. Limit 7, so 10, 20, 15 times 7. I think I need to even bring it down a little bit, maybe 12 times 7. Okay. Limit at 0.1418. Stop loss all the way. Do I need it to be all the way at the high? I feel like here is good. I'm at 0.1524. I'm gonna look to take this low here at 0.129. 0.129. And we'll see as far as sizing goes. 400. I don't want to risk 400 because I have four of them. So amount, I'll do like 30,000. Just like 300. Okay, moving on to Pendle. Sell in the middle of this 4-hour gap. And again, do I want my stop at the high or within the high? Just within usually saves a little bit of money. So let's look for Pendle. These just have not been filling. I almost don't expect this to fill, but Pendle at 3.49 with a stop at, oops, at this one. I want to increase the leverage, right? I have only a 3% stop, so I could use a lot of leverage on this. Okay. My stop loss is going to be at 3.611. My TP, I'm going to aim all the way down here at 3.085. Okay, my risk. Short order filled on GMT. What the fuck? Gonna immediately get out. Except, okay. Okay, back to GMT. Selling in that 4-hour gap. I could look for this 1-hour gap. I don't know why it said I filled. 6%. Okay. Limit at 0.1433. 30,000 with a stop loss at 0.1524. The take profit of 0.13. Okay, let's look again. Order price 0.1433. Okay. I don't know why that happened, but there we go. I guess I got a little greedy with Aave because my original order actually would have filled, but it's all good. Pendle. Okay, I want to get these orders in and then I want to log off. Pendle. Okay, limit at 3.49. with a stop loss at 3.611 and a TP at 3.085. And however much. Okay, Pendle. I'm gonna risk 300 on each position, roughly. Yeah, Pendle. $150,000, 2,500. Then we have Aave and we have Super. Putting on a margin. I'm gonna come back to the Bitcoin orders and redo them at a higher leverage. Okay. Note to self: try to use the maximum leverage for a particular position, 8. So let's now go do rare or super. Super. This one I'm gonna do at like 10x. I'm gonna put my entry at 0.8561 with a stop loss at 0.9313. Take profit at 0.715. Just cover much. 0.8561, okay. Super Pendle GMT. I have 2 Pendles. 2,500. Okay, cancel one of the Pendles. GMT Super, just want to make sure I like the sizing. Oh, too much. Okay, and then the last one would be Aave. And I'm seeing nothing. I will use the 30-minute and allow for a stab up here at 150 to 160. Limit 6%. So I'm gonna put this at like 15. Limit 150. I have 30. My stop's gonna be 160. I take profit, it's gonna be like that, more 136. Okay, so I have my alt shorts in. Wait, why didn't my super order go in? GMT, Pendle, Aave. I don't see super. I don't know what happened there. It looks like my order didn't go. 0.8561, 0.9313, take profit of 0.715. Okay. Risk is way too big. Okay. Okay, now the last one is to get back in these Bitcoin longs. Okay, back to Bitcoin, where I can do at least 20x leverage. Now it's telling me my max long is 1.3 Bitcoin, which is less than I want. Okay, here we go. So again, we're gonna limit at 57,150 with a stop at, I'm gonna put the stop at 55,900. My take profit is gonna be at 60,000. And I'm gonna do like 0.8. So my risk on this one is 1,000. And then I'm gonna have this lower one as well from 55 for 37 with a stop loss at 55, 54, 550, taking profit 60,000, and we're gonna risk one. Okay, so, okay, 55, 437. Okay, everything looks good. Now I wanna just log off because it's not really fun to watch how these limit orders be going. Yeah, ETH just looks sick, man. GMT. Look at Pendle. This is why Pendle, yeah, open interest went crazy since the high, right? Yeah, open interest is super high, but there was crazy selling, selling, selling. It's happening on a smaller time frame. Shorts getting stopped. Okay. Super. Yeah, we'll try it. And that's it. Happy trading. That's the whole trading day. Done until tomorrow. Much love, folks. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.